Hey guys, what's up? Shinzero555 here, coming at you with another Sans drawing. Yes, we are going to be drawing Story Shift Sans. I have no idea what version of Sans this is. But we're drawing another Sans here. I looked up my channel. I've drawn Sans at least like 6 or 7 times at this point. But apparently people really like them. So, and thank you, Joyce Magtoto, I hope I'm pronouncing your last name right, Magtoto, for the request. Yeah, so we're going to draw a Story Shift Sans. Again, not quite sure where this version of Sans is from, but he basically just has a crown and like this nice big cape on him. But we'll cover that in the drawing video. But before we do, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. That really does help me out. Other than that, let's get our pencils ready and let's jump in. Alright guys, so what we're going to do is start off is we are going to draw a nice decent sized circle. Keep it light. This is basically going to be the start of his head. And then what you can do after you get that circle is get kind of like an oval underneath it. This is going to help like kind of make his head shape later on. And then after we got that, we can get kind of like an oval going down here, and then another slightly smaller oval right there for his arm. It should go down kind of like this. Then we can get like kind of like a big oval for like his stomach. And then we can get a line going down here, going across and then up for like where his pants are going to be. And then we'll get like the first part of his jacket, and then the second part of his jacket will kind of go around like this, kind of go up like that. And then we can get a nice big oval for the cape here. And then the cape's going to kind of go out and just kind of go around like this. And then we'll get 2 nice big circles where his feet are going to be. And that's pretty much it for the gesture that we need. It's a little messy, but we're going to jump into detail here. So this is pretty much what we need for the face, is kind of like this circle and this oval. If you want to, you can kind of draw on the crosshairs. They'd be something like this. He's actually looking more head on, so the line will go almost exactly down the middle. But once you get that down, we can start with his eyes, which are going to be these 2 big kind of circles here. And now we're just going to refine the shape a little bit. So what we're going to do is, it's not a perfect circle, so it's going to go up, kind of go over, kind of down here, and then it straightens up a little bit at the bottom here like that. And then what you want to do is just extend this line out just slightly. And then for this one, it's going to be a little bit straighter up, and then it's going to curve down and then kind of straighten out the bottom there like that. And then we will get that line that kind of goes like that. Then for the nose, it's pretty much just like upside down U shape. And then it kind of rounds off, kind of goes up a little bit there, and then connects in. And then for the eyes themselves, actually this can go out a little bit more. I'm going to extend this eye, now I'm looking at it. Go out a little bit more. And then for the eyes themselves, they're just these nice oval shapes. We're going to get one here and one here, and they're going to be right smack dab in the middle. And then you could shade the eye in as well. Like that. You could shade the nose in, and then you could shade this other eye in. I'll just do a quick job of it just for the sketch here. That's pretty good. And then for the smile, this is where this kind of like oval comes in. We're going to keep it light, but basically what we're going to do is kind of like where the smile is going to kind of meet it, like right here. So we're actually going to get a straight line going down here, and then a line going down, and then kind of curving across like this, and then it would go up about here, but his cape is going to kind of cover up the rest of his mouth, so don't worry about drawing that in right now. And then here we're basically just going to do the same thing, just go down, kind of over, and this would just go up and then in, and if you were to finish it off, it looks something like that. And then what you want to do is just draw in the lines going up like this to complete his smile. Now we're going to zoom out a little bit, and we're going to just kind of rough in his head shape. So right here, it's just going to be a line going straight up. It's going to go out a little bit and then round over to about here, and then kind of go in. And then we do the draw here. Actually, it's a little bit too straight. Let's curve that a little bit more. There we go. And then we get to like this oval. This is where the oval pops in. You're just going to go down and just kind of hug the oval that we have here. And again, I'm going to keep it slightly lighter as we get here. And then what would happen is it would kind of go up like this. And then this would be like the back of the head. We're not going to see this part because, again, the cape is going to go over that, which we're going to draw in just a minute here. But before we do that, we're going to draw in his crown. And his crown's pretty simple. What you could do is draw a line going straight out like this and another line going straight out like this. And then draw a nice curved line connecting the two. You could darken in this. And then basically what you want to do is just get a line going down, up, down, and then up right about there. And you want to kind of keep them all the same kind of height. Like that. We can erase any overlap that we have here. And in the middle here, you're going to have an upside down heart. So you basically just draw a heart shape like that, just upside down. And then right here, you're going to get a spike. And again, this like little kind of like imaginary line I made here, that's how tall these back spikes would be. And you could also shade them in like the eyes, just to show a little bit of depth, like so. But now that we've got that done, we can finally draw in the stuff that like covers his mouth here. So it's basically going to like take up like this much space here. And really what you want to do is you could break it down into kind of like big circles. And you can make them like in varied sizes. So you could have like one big, one not so big, something like that. And then what you want to do here is start right about here. And then just draw a nice curved line that goes around like this. And then you're just going to kind of hug these circles that you have. You can kind of go into one like another, so it doesn't have to be like always like a perfect circle. So this one's going to go up right about here, and here I'll just have it curve in and then go around like that. Maybe curve it in like so. And then you just kind of want these like little bumps going out everywhere like this, just to show that it's kind of like puffy. Like that, and a little curved line there. And I'm actually going to erase a lot of this because it's very sketchy. And I'm going to clean it up for the video so it's nice and easy to read. And again, this is why you draw light when you do the gesture. So I kind of just spaced everything out, kind of like blocked in some couple shapes. And then and you keep those light, so when you do want to go in with like some detail here, you can easily erase your guidelines and just be left with the good lines, and it makes you look like you didn't even need guidelines to start. But you basically get like a big puffy space like this. Also, right here, you're going to get a nice circle. This is going to be for like I don't know, like a pendant on the cape, and you can erase any overlap here. And then all you want to do after you get that circle done is draw a nice little curve line right here just to give it a little bit of depth. But now that that's done, we can draw in the cape. So the cape is actually pretty simple. It's going to start right about here and just be this nice big kind of like S curve like that. And on the edge here, you're going to go up and then in. And then on the outside of the cape, you're just going to have that curve, and it's going to meet up right about here, like right near the end there. Like that. And then we'll finish off the rest of the cape after we do the rest of the body. But speaking about the rest of the body, we could do the other side of the cape too. So pretty much same concept right here. You can get like a series of circles. I will draw the pendant in first, so we're going to draw a nice circle here with a curved line. And then here what we're going to do is just draw a nice little curved line like this going up. One that'll come over here. This one will have kind of curving in like that. This one will go out kind of behind that one like so. And now that we have that done, we could actually draw in his arm. So we're going to jump to his arm next, and it's going to be right about here. So what we're going to do is start, and his arm is very simple. It's this nice little curve line going in like this. So we're going to kind of hug this rectangle or oval that we have in the gesture. And then right here, you're going to get another little curve line. It's going to be like the bend in his arm. And then here we're going to get a line curving in, kind of go over, kind of bend out a little, and then kind of poof out like that. Zoom in even more. And then once you get that done, what you could do is get a little kind of rectangle right here. And then just kind of like two lines going in to show his hand going into his pocket. And then here what we're going to do is draw a nice curve line that curves down, around, and then in like that for his jacket. And then here we're pretty much going to get the same thing. It's just going to be a line curving down, over. It's going to curve up and in like that. And we'll get a little kind of curve line just to show where his arm is over there, like so. And then what you would do is draw a very light line that hugs the coat right about there. We're going to draw on the zipper, so like that. And then all you want to do is kind of just segment it out with lines. And then you just darken in these little rectangles that you made, like so. And then same thing on this one. Like that, so you have the zipper in there. And now that that's done, we could actually finish in his shirt here. So you get a nice little curve line like this for his collar, and you'll get another one right about there. And then a little curve line going up, and maybe one like over here. You barely see it, but it'll be there. And then once we got that down, we could draw in kind of like his stomach, or his like shirt. So you don't see a lot of it because of the coat, but you would see kind of like a curve line here, and then a line going down and then over like this for like the bottom of his shirt. And now we could go into his pants. So his pants are pretty simple. What I like to do is like you get like that center line for him, and right in the middle of that center line, you're basically just going to start here, draw a line going over and then down like this. And then right about here, you're just going to go down to about here, curve it around, and then curve it up like so. And then here, it's just going to go out, kind of down, over, and then kind of curve into where that middle line is, right there. And then you can draw on the stripes in his pants, which are two parallel lines going down. These two it'll make like this thick line, and then you do a slightly thinner line. And the way you do that is just keep these two lines closer together. So there's one thick and then one thin. And now that we got that done, before we jump into the shoes, we're actually going to finish off the cape here. So we're going to zoom out a little bit and draw on the cape. And you'd barely see the cape. It'd be somewhere around here, and it'd just be like this nice little curve like this. And then we'll go on to this kind of like almost little triangle type shape, like so. And then here it'll kind of curve in. And then I'm going to draw a little bit of detail where the line's going down and then curving out. So it looks like the cape's kind of like flowing. And we're going to do something very similar on this side, where we have like this line that we drew before. We're going to start around here and just draw a curve line going in. And this kind of gives like the illusion that the cape's kind of like bending behind him, which is something that we want. And now the last thing we need to do is just draw in his shoe, or his slipper really. So he's going to have one slipper here. This is going to be a little bit more like head on. So if you can imagine, like this is kind of the front, and then this one, it's going to be off to the side here like that. So we're going to do the head one on first, and it's very simple. Basically what you're going to do is draw in this nice big dome shape, like so. Then you're going to extend this line out a little bit, kind of flatten it near the bottom here, and then go back to about here. And then here what we're going to do is just go back and then kind of curve it in like this. And then here just going to go down and around like that. And then what we're going to do is draw a nice little curve line curving in this way, one curving in this way, and then one little curve line like this, and another one kind of holding it like that. And you can erase this in between right there. And that's pretty much it for this foot. Now the second foot is slightly different because again it's going to be on the side here. So what we're going to do is start right about here, draw a nice little curve line that goes over and then down. We're going to straighten it out right about here, and then it's going to go back, and this line's going to go down and then back, and we're going to get that kind of curve line there like that as this one goes up. Then we're going to get a nice little circle here for like his ankle bone. And then for the big bones, you're just going to get that curve line here. It's going to wrap around and go up like so. And then another one that's going to be slightly thinner going up like this. And then you can just darken in these lines like so. And that is pretty much how you draw Story Shift Sans. It's pretty much Sans just with a this little cape thing and a crown. So I guess you could apply it to the other Sans videos I've drawn before. Just give them a cape and a crown. And then you got Story Shift Sans. So anyway guys, I will take the sketch that I just did and put it up there. I will take the inked version I did beforehand and put it up there as well. So you could get a nice good look at both of them. But anyway guys, thank you again Joyce for the request. I do appreciate it. And if you guys have requests, feel free to leave that in the comment section below, and then just tune in on Sunday and hopefully your request will pop up. And oh, and before you make a request, because I've been getting a few requests on like videos I've already done, just check the playlist. I know it's like super long, but if you just like search my channel on the character you want, like just the name of the character you wanted, if it pops up, I might already have a how to draw video on it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. That really does help me out. Other than that, I'm Shin0525, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, thanks, bye. Later.